It's a numbers game with your host, Gill Alexander.
It's one of those idiots who believe in analytics.
Hour number 2 of a numbers game right here at VSiN, the Vegas Stats and Information Network, Sirius XM Channel 204, VSiN.com, the VSiN app. It is Gill Alexander. Producer number 5, Jeff Parlay, is here. It's all brought to you by the BetMGM app, y'all. As always, BetMGM, proud sponsor of this show here, where first-time players can make their first bet completely risk-free, up to $500 United States dollars. And the same guys that bring you Atlantic City's premier hotel and casino, Borgata, will be with you all season long with a wide variety of betting options and easy deposit and withdrawal methods. Remember, it's the withdrawal methods that matter the most. Download the app. Use bonus code VSIN500 at sign-up to get your $500 risk-free bet. That's bonus code VSIN500 to place your first BetMGM wager risk-free. You can sign up anywhere, but you got to be in the state of New Jersey to place a bet. BetMGM, it's how you play the game. Download the app today. You got to be 21 years of age or older. New Jersey only. Restrictions apply. That's the BetMGM app. And again, the code VSIN500. Before we get to Billy, Jeff, I want to ask you a very sincere question, just me and you, nobody listening. How excited are you to be on the Megapod today?
Oh, very excited. I get to taunt Todd Wishnev for our incorrect rules that we had in the tennis match.
Oh, that's right.
It'll be good.
Yeah, we can talk about that.
And
Las Vegas.
No, it's exciting. It's exciting. I follow up Michael Lombardi and Joe Fortenbaugh.
Oh, it's
wow.
Rare air.
You've gone backwards completely, Gil.
Yeah, we're taking a mulligan this week. No, we're happy to have you on there. But what he's referring to, Billy, is that we had the first annual Las Vegas Invitational tennis. Me, Todd Wishnev, Mike Palm, and Jeff Parles actually went out to a tennis court out here, and half of us got injured.
Wow. I would have recorded that if I would have known.
Yes.
Went out there and
someone pulled a groin. Someone fell. Yes, Jeff. Oh, there's Todd at the end of this. Is not a stage photo. There's your boy Todd, your co-star from the Showtime docuseries Action. That is a legit picture of Todd after, what do you say, 35 minutes of tennis? Something like that. It's terrible. Poor Todd. Todd said he was very sore yesterday. I was with Todd last night, though, as he watched App State and Louisiana. Cashed a bet there, I believe. Billy, what's on your mind? How you doing, man?
Hey, what's going on?
How you doing? How you been?
Just came back from Atlantic City.
Of course you did.
Yeah.
Are you going again today?
No, I'm going next Thursday.
You're doing it every other week kind of thing.
Yeah, I'm going to the fight. There's a fight in Philadelphia. My friend Teddy Atlas is training a fighter, and his fighter goes. 2 unbeaten fighters, both have belts, light heavyweight from Temple University. So I'm going there.
Oh, wow.
On the fight is Friday night, October 18th, and then I'll be in Atlantic City that night and hanging out there for the weekend again.
By the way, since you bring up fighting, I should mention welterweight boxing champion Errol Spence Jr.
Amazing.
In ICU after crashing his Ferrari in Dallas last night. So seriously, it says he was seriously injured after being ejected from the Ferrari he was driving during a rollover crash on Riverfront Boulevard there in Dallas. He was transported to the hospital, but expected to survive, is the tweet I'm getting. Geez, whenever you start to use words like that.
Ejected from the vehicle, right?
Ejected from the vehicle.
Yeah, one of my Twitter guys, and also a good friend, Montreal Max, texted me this morning, woke up with that and said, wow, I did not know.
Errol Spence Jr. On the short list of pound-for-pound greatest fighters in the world.
Oh, Teddy loves him. Teddy,
yeah.
He's like on Teddy's list. I mean, he loves the kid. And he just beat Porter, which was, could be the fight of the year, actually, a couple weeks ago. So that's a shame. I'm hoping he's all right,
Absolutely. I mean, that it's actually more serious than we came on the air while this was breaking, and so when you start to use language like that, boy, I hope everything's okay with Errol Spence Jr. We don't often there's no artful way to segue into this, but since we are a betting show, you do like to bet boxing. You're buddies with Teddy, who you've been kind enough to have Teddy Atlas on this show. One of the things John Murray, who was leaving Follow the Money with Mitch and Paulie earlier on his way out, we got to talking about one of his favorite things to bet on are huge favorites in boxing. And his reasoning for it is very sound, which is the public loves to bet dogs in boxing. It's almost like an auto bet for the public. And so you get these artificially muted prices on betting favorites. Now, the single greatest example of that, obviously, Floyd Mayweather, Conor McGregor. But do you, as a rule, is that kind of your thing? Are you looking to bet favorites in boxing?
Well, look, if you bet on Floyd, I think 32 of his fights were lined fights. You made 32 units. Yeah. So as long as you're not laying 32-1 on a fight, yeah.
Yeah.
But then again, there has been some recent fights where I've seen a 20-1 shot lose and stuff. You have to make sure that they're really a champion and really who they are.
Yeah.
So I can't think of the one recently.
Ruiz.
Yeah, there's some. You got to be careful betting them. However, if you have a true champion that you think's but I don't really know of any right now. There's no Floyd Mayweather type of locks out there when you're in boxing anymore. But yes, over the years, boxing favorites have been a positive EV.
What did you, when you were at AC this past weekend, what caught your attention?
Live wagering. Yeah, this is something that's good for New Jersey. I noticed live wagering, they're not caught up. You could just market handicap. You can actually look at your look at a screen, which I have a Don Best screen, but I mean you could look at any, you really want to get the live odds from some of the places offshore and compare them to the odds of the apps in New Jersey. And I noticed some key differences. I was laying 9.5 on a game. Was it Minnesota minus 9.5, minus 0.5 when it was 12.5 at Pinnacle. So just market handicapping. You don't have to know anything. Just know that you have the best of it. You're following some of the best live lines. And I think you can make some money just doing that. Just test it out. Trial and error. It's brand new, so test it out.
Isn't so much of that shop specific based on that shop's particular liability or what they need?
Well, especially the first quarter of a game. So they may base that line on what their risk is before the game or what they need before the game, the outcome. So check out the first quarter live lines. I think you can. That's when I was finding some value. But yet I did find in Minnesota in the third quarter. But
yeah, I think that's true of any because I happened to watch
almost anywhere.
Well, I happened to watch I don't know which baseball game it was that we were watching here in the playoffs at the South Point. And the difference between the in-game, as you said, early in the game,
right.
The first in-games that bookmaker Chris was sending out versus what you saw here, there was a marked difference in the numbers. I think it was the game that the Rays crushed the Astros, Game 3. The price you could get was very much different, and you can only conclude it's because this shop needed one thing and. This is perhaps catered.
When I think about it, now, I don't know. I've never asked anyone in Risk this question. If I'm a guy that, if I have a 6.5 on a game to my customers and I'm heavy, $15,000 on a favorite, I'd like to even my books and get $15,000 on the favorite. And then after the first quarter, it becomes, I could put up a 6.5 again and get off my original position and just lock up the juice. But I know it's like 7.5 or 8.5, I could just give a little carrot there, get a little money, and even up my book a little bit. I don't know if that's the right thing to do or not.
Well,
but
I think it's event specific, right? Like sometimes they have an interest in evening it out, and other times they have a position, right?
But I have seen it though. I have seen it this weekend. I don't really do a lot of live wagering because I'm not really into the games and watching the games and going crazy. But I was with my friends in Atlantic City, so. I did notice it many times. I mean, I was all in on an app that I had 5 figures in live wagering.
Jeez.
Yeah, which I didn't plan to be because I was betting a lot of pre-games. But yeah, and they were taking some good bets. I was betting $500 a pop, bang, 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 bang.
Yeah.
And I wound up going all in on one of my apps. But again, same thing. Game's over. I request a withdrawal. I'm leaving. I'm going back to Vegas on Tuesday morning. I was leaving for Vegas.
This is why I always emphasize the withdrawal method on this thing.
Sunday, put the request in. And this is a brand new app, by the way. I'm not going to say who it was. Brand new app to me. I just opened the brand new app. And, 24 to 72 hours. So what happens again? I request a payout to the cage. So there's $8,000 waiting for me at the Borgata. I just gave it away, didn't I?
Yes,
okay.
You did.
Yeah.
Yes, you did.
So, I just gave it away. Oh, by the way, I don't understand this when I was at the Borgata. So there's signs everywhere for $300 bonuses, but the VSiN bonus is $500. So there's different bonuses for everybody. If you're in person and you see the $300, it's $300 everywhere, all over the sportsbook and the casino. But yet, if you put VSiN, is it $500?
VSiN 500.
You put in the code VSiN 500. You get $500 free bet, which I actually won. It's your first bet. How that works is, I found out too. So your first bet for $500, if you lose that bet, that's the bet you get back. But I actually won it, so it's good to know because they don't give it back to you in one shot. They give it back to you in percentages. I think it's $50 a bonus for your next 10 bets. So anyway, Yeah, but the same thing. I put the request in for like I think it was 8,600. Put the request in, bang, and then you can't get the money until Tuesday morning. Though it was available.
Do you get the impression that will improve, or do you get the impression that that's just staying?
No, and I'm not picking on the Brigada. I'm not.
Right.
It's everywhere. I mean, it happened at Sugar House. It happened at the Golden Nugget. It happens at any kind of even at FanDuel at the Meadowlands. Right, with they're responsible for the biggest. They have the biggest action in New Jersey. Supposedly, they're getting the most money out of all the sports books. FanDuel
on mobile, yeah,
on mobile. And I'm right inside FanDuel's sportsbook at the Meadowlands, and I can't withdraw the money at the counter. You have to put the request in. It has to go over to. I'm guessing it's going abroad is where their marketing is, where their banking is, and then it has to come back. But you have to wait a couple hours just to. I think there it's a little bit better. It's like a few hours, but it seems that now listen, I understand everyone's going to be different, but a lot of people, like I said before, they want to touch their money after the game.
Right.
They want to put money in the morning and want to take their money home at night, and that's not happening with a lot of the apps. But I understand because they're app only. Some of them are app only too. They're not even brick and mortar. So
we say it every time. The thing that they have going for them, if that's the right way to phrase it, is that they get to condition a largely brand new betting behavior for new bettors, right?
Right.
There's a whole swath of bettors that now that it's legal, they're ready to go. And so if you don't know any better as a bettor, right? EROR, then you just are willing to accept such things.
I guess so. Just like a lot of the apps are I noticed. Listen, I picked on the casino in Pennsylvania, but I noticed some of the Jersey apps also. -114 on NFL, -114, -112 on some games, -115, -114 on other games. Now, what that means is you're laying $1.15 instead of $1.10. That's just so unacceptable to me. But however, there are things that overcome it. There are some other things that do overcome it, like that live wagering, like the bonuses, like the booster bets. They'll have booster bets every day. They'll dangle a carrot and say, hey, these two teams, if you bet them in a parlay, normally through the sports book, you're getting plus 290. However, it's a booster today, you're getting plus 350 or 400. It's a small max. It's like $50. They're dangling a carrot, giving you little bonuses there. So there are things that overcome it. Like I won't bet money lines on any of the apps in New Jersey. The money lines are ridiculous. They're minus like 135, come back even instead of 120 even.
Man.
So it's the Euro way. And
it's the Euro way.
Yeah, it is. But
Euro meaning EUR.
But the bonuses overcome it. So you sign up for the bonuses. You there are things, and like the live wagering, I noticed there's some things. And by the way, there's a lot of ways to bet games. Also, there's a lot that they may have tonight's game. They may have 100 different ways to bet the Patriot game and props and stuff compared to a book in Vegas with 20 or 10.
But as we say, it's one thing to have all the offerings. It's another thing to offer bettable fair prices, right?
Yeah.
So
no, they are doing a little price gouging there.
Can I segue to something else? I didn't even warn you that I was going to ask you this, but it just sort of occurred to me. Your buddy Warren.
Yeah.
How's he doing this year with football?
He's winning.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was 14-7. I think he started out really, really good. Yeah, he's definitely up like 5 units or something. Is he on? Has he come on yet?
Yeah, he's been on Friday.
Oh, he comes on Fridays.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know about Fridays, but he's been on he's been on a Friday.
Oh, he's been on a Friday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's hard to lock it down, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, he does another show today.
Yeah, he's got stuff.
That he takes a train from his house. It's a 10-hour day.
He's in D.C.
Yeah, he goes all the way to New York.
Yeah.
And then he gets back on the train and goes back.
Yeah, well, if you take like the Acela, that's like a 2.5-hour thing. It's very civilized travel.
Oh, do they have that there?
Oh, let me tell you something. If that train is very civilized. You feel like you're like very executive, old school.
Yeah, it's probably double the price though, right?
Oh, for sure.
Oh, he's not going for that.
He's not doing that?
No.
Oh, they're not paying for the transport?
I don't think so. But I don't know. I don't want to say any more.
That he's taking the 4-hour version, which is not the Acela.
Yes.
But, yeah. Not quite as civilized. Yes.
No, we love Warren. So.
No, we do. Of course we do. We enjoy him very much. We love everything about him. Tomorrow, though, on the show, for those who are wondering again, if you missed it, James Salinas in studio. So we're going to have a run here of James Salinas, who won the Super Contest. Hopefully we can get Aaron Schatz in on the show on Friday as well. And we'll circle back to Warren. at some point here as well, because we'd love to get his perspective. Bill Krackomberger in studio. You wrote something for Gaming Today this week as well?
Yeah, we'll go over it.
We'll go over that next. And Jason Weingarten, going to get his baseball perspective, coming up on A Numbers Game at VSiN.
Keep it right here for more of A Numbers Game with Gill Alexander.
Some of what you missed.
How about your boy Elway? Can't evaluate a quarterback. He also can't hire a head coach. Fangio 0-4. You bring in Flacco. You remember you hired Joseph as well. This is first time since 2008 they blow a 14-point lead at home.
Well, here's what you can say about John Elway. He's 55-17 with Peyton Manning. That's what he has with Peyton Manning. Without Peyton Manning, he's 21-41.
Oh.
And over the last 2 years, since Peyton retired, he's 11-25. So Peyton gets a lot of people in the Hall of Fame, Paulie. You would be in the Hall of Fame.
That's right.
You would be in the Hall of Fame if Peyton was your quarterback. I mean, he's got a party. I mean, it's a huge party for him.
Number one, about 162 games. And number two, the last 2 weeks of the season, we had 16, 18, 14-inning games. You're playing out the string. They're 7-hour games. What do you think of that?
Well, I mean, I hate it personally, and it's amazing, though, and these are among the reasons why I can't find myself to get on Twitter. It's amazing when you say on the air something to that degree that, you know, a 7-hour game is not good for baseball. It's not good for growing a fan base. It's not good for the players. It's not good for the product. It's incredible the amount of pushback you get from people online. And people that, oh, this guy hates baseball. If you hate baseball so much, maybe you should quit. I love going to a game and having it be long. I can drink more beers. Well, you know, that's not what it's about. It's about putting a exciting product on the field where people are running. When it's a 7-hour game that includes a bunch of walks, homers, and strikeouts, you're not seeing any athleticism on the field. And that's the way the game is being taught now with all the swing dynamics that are being coached up and studied. So I hate the long games. I think fans are mixed about it. Players are kind of just reluctantly used to it these days, right? I just feel like that's the way baseball is. For guys like us who remember baseball when it was different, it's not as pleasing, and hopefully they can get back to that someday. I think everybody's aware that the long games are not good for anyone.
Yeah.
Well, I think the problem is Gase is limited. Like, I tell all these people that want to bitch about the coaches, like, why don't you call plays behind that offensive line? Like, seriously, you go call plays when you got Brandon Shell at right tackle, when you got Kelvin Beachum at left tackle, when you got Brian Winters, one of the higher-paid guards in the league, doesn't block anybody. You get Ryan Khalil, comes out of retirement. He probably should have stayed retired, you know, and then you get Assembly, the left guard. I mean, they don't have anybody that blocks up front. I mean, the general manager, Mike McKagan, before him, he never drafted an offensive lineman in the first 4 rounds 4 years into the job. So this is the byproduct of bad planning. This is not bad design. This is bad planning.
Welcome back to A Numbers Game with Gill Alexander.
By the way, wake up with a report on key line movements, how the pros are betting the day's top games. You can sign up now for VSiN's free daily newsletter. You'll get an email every morning with news and betting resources, plus our programming highlights. It's the best way to learn more about sports betting and how VSiN can help you. Just go to vsin.com/newsletter. That's vsin.com/newsletter. Perfect way to start your betting day. And then, of course, listen to all our programming here at VSiN, Sirius XM Channel 204. Bill Krackomberger is here, at Bill Crackman with a K on Twitter. Always a fun follow on Twitter. And, of course, he's multimedia. He writes for Gaming Today. What is the subject of your writing this week?
I just wrote about a little tale and some stories about bankroll management compared to, you know, when I was younger, I was one of those guys that used to drive down from North Jersey to, you know, Atlantic City and with the Summer Wind on or a Frank Sinatra song on. And with your buddies, you're all happy, you're pumped up, luck be a ladies. And I've had many a nights where I was on the way home, couldn't pay the tolls, looking for change in the seats in the ashtrays. Yeah. I just thought about that, and you know, it's the Atlantic City crowd's a different crowd than the Vegas crowd. Out here, they come out touristy. They have an allotted dollar amount they're going to spend, and Atlantic City, they're actually there to win.
Gritty.
They're there to win.
Yeah.
There's no fooling around there. And that reminded me of I seen something this weekend as I'm sitting in the sports book at the Borgata. By the way, I did a tour of all the sports books. I'll get to that in a second. But I seen a guy being taken out. He took his tray of chips from the poker room. He had white and red, so maybe $200 in chips, and literally threw it across the room and said, "The heck with this place!" And they were throwing him out of the. You just don't see that in Vegas a lot.
Did he really say heck?
No.
Yes.
I was trying to be nice for.
The heck with this place.
No, he said F this place.
Yeah.
And he's like, but he actually I heard him yelling, and he had the thing of chips, and they wouldn't let him cash his chips, I don't think. He's like, "You're not letting me cash my chips?" He goes, "The hell with it, you keep them." And he threw them up in the air. It was like the scene from Casino with Sharon Stone. Chips were flying everywhere.
Did other patrons immediately scramble for the chips?
It's the poker room in the Borgata. I mean, what do you think? Of course they are. This is like the
making it rain with his chips.
Yeah. So, but yeah, so it's just that you said the word gritty. It's just a tough gambler there. They're there to win. They're there to, and they go through everything. By the way, you go down with 500, you're not leaving with a grocery dollar usually. But I did it as a kid too, so we all did it. So I just wrote a little tale about that.
We used to go to AC from DC.
Oh, there you go. That's how far is that? 3 hours?
Yeah, like 2.5.
2.5.
2.5, 3 hours. Back in the day, and it was rough, man.
Yeah.
As Chrissy Andrews told some people a couple weeks ago, I honed my betting first in Hialeah in Miami, a very fixed sport, and then graduated to AC. AC was rough back then.
Yeah. No, it's this. Let me just tell you something. Some of the boardwalk casinos
still that way.
Just be aware of your surroundings. Look on the weekends on a Friday or Saturday night. Look what's going on around the crap tables and stuff. Walk to like Caesars, Bally's, those boardwalk casinos there. There's a lot of stuff going on, man. There's some hustlers. They call them fleas. They call them fleas. They're there. They're looking for opportunities there.
Yeah.
It doesn't happen as much in the Marina District where the Borgata, Golden Nugget, Harris, because they get thrown out for 24 hours and you have to walk to the next casino. There's a lot of distance in between the casinos and the Marina compared to the boardwalk. You get thrown out of Bally's, you go to Caesars, you run over to Hard Rock or Ocean. So you can pop around from casino to casino there until your luck runs out.
Yeah, I can't. My Atlantic City experience is one of the stories on the boardwalk is not fit for air, but yes, there were characters, that's for sure.
They're still there.
So now you teased us by saying you're going to talk about all these casinos. Do you have a sort of ranking that you'd like to give on these?
Well, I put a video out on my Twitter this week because I was at Trop, I was at Oceans, I was at Borgata. I went to Harrah's actually casino on the way out too, which is Harrah's has a nice little sports book too. This is all sports book related, and Bally's by far, beautiful giant screens. They put like $6 million in the book, $1 million screens, like similar to the Westgate. Mm-hmm. And I took a little video, put it on my Twitter, and got like 26,000 hits, 86,000 views, 26,000 hits, actual full views, just to show the sports book. Listen, they have big lazy boys that recline. A great VIP section in the back. Something they have in the front that's really cool, betting pods. They have about 6 betting pods where you can go in and you and your buddies get your own little pod of 6 seats and your own TV. And yet I noticed nothing being used. So they're probably charging too much for all this stuff. But then again, the crowd.
Betting pod meaning like they have their own personal kiosk.
Your own personal. No, actually, not. I shouldn't say pod. That's what they're calling it though.
Yeah.
So it's just a little section. You get to go on your own little. It's basically like your own little cave, your own little man cave.
That's Bally's.
At Bally's.
Yeah,
Wild West. But by the way, listen, you know me. I say it like it is. The rest of the place is a dump. I mean the casino.
Oh, the casino itself.
No, it's probably ranks the worst out of all of them. But it just they're trying to do the right thing. The sportsbook looks nice. It looks great.
It's such an interesting thing because Oceans, for instance. I don't know if it's called Oceans anymore.
It's called Oceans.
It's called Oceans.
Yep.
Oceans has this beautiful sportsbook, right?
Very nice.
We used to have our studio there, right?
Yes.
It's a renovated nightclub. It used to be a dance floor.
Right.
So it's there's people who would like hang up in the rafters. Like it was right out of Purple Rain and the Time was performing up top and dancing. It's beautiful there. But then the rest of the casino, it's like you can almost picture the tumbleweed sometimes. Like
yes.
There's nobody there. So.
I say you can drive a Sherman tank through the Ocean Casino and not hit anybody.
That's right.
Yeah. No, it's true.
That's right.
It's really true. And, I was there for like the first couple of weeks too. And you're right. It's a sports book. And then at like 9 o'clock at night when there's games going on everywhere, Saturday night, a dance floor breaks out on the other side with a group up there. I hated it. I was like, what are you kidding me? I can't even hear the games no more. You're with your buddies. But then again, that is what makes money. Because people come in for that. They're drinking, the bar's there, and that's what makes money, I guess. So
So you love Bally's.
Love Bally's. I like the Harris little book was nice, too. I just went there for Monday Night Football. That was nice. And listen, they're all brand new. They're all nice.
Yeah. And
the Hard Rock was nice. I just went to the Hard Rock book. That's a nice book, too. They just they just expanded it, made all seating. I thought they didn't have seats. First time I was there, it was just a little hole. And now it's big. So.
And Borgata renovated. And Borgata is still, would you say, the most packed casino sports book there is?
Maybe casino-wise, the sports book was pretty dead.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Sunday during game time, during first kickoff, it was a little busy, but again, it's the app betting. 85% on the apps, and they're not even in the brick and mortars.
We were saying off air though, like the traction of sports betting, their awareness of things like VSiN though at Borgata was off the charts. Like you can't walk 5 minutes without somebody approaching and saying.
Yes, I say that's like my wheelhouse, New Jersey. Yeah. It's amazing how many people will come up to me because of VSiN, because of action in New Jersey sports books compared to Nevada. It's like triple.
Well, it's because they're families, right? Or generational, steeped in sport, in betting. It's so natural.
It's a rite of passage.
That's right.
When you grow up, you're going to be involved in sports betting, pitching coins, playing cards. Yeah.
Yeah. The opposite of being a cast aside thing in some other regions of the country. Yeah.
Right. No, for sure. And everything is like VSiN there too. Even their schedules. There's a football betting guide with VSiN on both sides, and they're all in there. It's good. It's a nice partnership. Hopefully,
it's a beautiful thing. So okay, so that's the list. So Bally's
is great. Those big reclining chairs. It's a great place to watch a game, and it's a hidden gem. No one even knows. It was like Saturday afternoon. There was like 20 seats taken out of like the 70. I mean, it was great.
Now, how do you feel about when people approach you? Let's be honest here.
Yeah,
just me and you talking.
Just me and you.
When folks approach you, what is your level of happiness? Are you always thrilled to meet people? Are there times?
Bill Krackomberger, of course. I'm happy as can be. You think I'm like this?
Is there a scenario, Bill? What I'm asking you.
Smart people. Come on.
Is there a scenario where someone approaches you and you're like, no?
No,
never.
Nah, unless I'm in the middle. But people are pretty. Someone did come up to me in the restaurant though.
I knew I could get to something.
It's dangerous grounds.
Restaurant is awful.
No, but so what?
Can't you see I'm eating?
Nah, that's not me.
I think you speak for all of us.
Time for everyone.
I think
try
you
to
speak
help
for
everybody.
all of us.
Try to be nice to everyone.
I am thrilled every time. I really am.
Listen. Think about it. We're sports bettors. People are asking for pictures.
It's a beautiful thing.
I'm a sports bettor.
Yeah.
It's
just Bill Krackomberger.
Yeah.
At Bill Crackman with a K on Twitter. We'll come back. We'll take a little break from Billy because Jason Weingarten wants to stop by. Bill will be with us, though. Jason Weingarten under a cloud of smoke somewhere in Southern California, lamenting the Dodgers from last night. He's sad that he can't go to any more baseball games down there in Southern Cali. He's got thoughts on last night's game, and he'll tell us exactly what he's betting and what he might be betting in multiple markets tonight in the Rays Astros game, and any thoughts on the Cardinals and the Nationals in the NLCS. Jason Weingarten next on A Numbers Game at VSiN.
Keep it right here for more of A Numbers Game with Gill Alexander.
If you didn't catch VSiN last week, here's some of what you missed.
How about your boy Elway? Can't evaluate a quarterback. He also can't hire a head coach. Fangio 0-4. You bring in Flacco. You hired Joseph as well. This is first time since 2008 they blow a 14-point lead at home.
Well, here's what you can say about John Elway. He's 55-17 with Peyton Manning. That's what he has with Peyton Manning. Without Peyton Manning, he's 21-41.
Oh.
And over the last 2 years, since Peyton retired, he's 11-25. So Peyton gets a lot of people in the Hall of Fame, Paulie. You would be in the Hall of Fame.
That's right.
You would be in the Hall of Fame if Peyton was your quarterback. I mean, he's got a party. I mean, it's a huge party for him.
Number one, about 162 games. And number two, the last 2 weeks of the season, we had 16, 18, 14-inning games. You're playing out the string. They're 7-hour games. What do you think of that?
Well, I mean, I hate it personally, and it's amazing though, and these are among the reasons why I can't find myself to get on Twitter. It's amazing when you say on the air something to that degree that, a 7-hour game is not good for baseball. It's not good for growing a fan base. It's not good for the players. It's not good for the product. It's incredible the amount of pushback you get from people online. And people say, this guy hates baseball. If you hate baseball so much, maybe you should quit. I love going to a game and having it be long. I can drink more beers. Well, that's not what it's about. It's about putting a exciting product on the field where people are running. When it's a 7-hour game that includes a bunch of walks, homers, and strikeouts, you're not seeing any athleticism on the field. And that's the way the game is being taught now with all the swing dynamics that are being coached up and studied. So I hate the long games. I think fans are mixed about it. Players are kind of just reluctantly used to it these days, right? I just feel like that's the way baseball is. For guys like us who remember baseball when it was different, it's not as pleasing, and hopefully they can get back to that someday. I think everybody's aware that the long games are not good for anyone.
Yeah.
Well, I think the problem is Gase is limited. Like I tell all these people that want to bitch about the coaches, like, why don't you call plays behind that offensive line? Like, seriously, you go call plays when you got Brandon Shell at right tackle, when you got Kelvin Beachum at left tackle, when you got Brian Winters, one of the higher paid guards in the league, doesn't block anybody. You get Ryan Khalil, comes out of retirement. He probably should have stayed retired, and then you get Assembly, the left guard. I mean, they don't have anybody that blocks up front. I mean, the general manager, Mike McKagan, before him, he never drafted an offensive lineman in the first 4 rounds, 4 years into the job. So this is the byproduct of bad planning. This is not bad design. This is bad planning.
Welcome back to A Numbers Game with Gill Alexander.
Back on A Numbers Game, I should point out, this is a shout-out to all my DC peeps. Obviously, the Nationals have won 2 winner-take-all games here in a span of a week. Washington Mystics tonight, Jeff. Producer number 5. Washington Mystics, Connecticut Sun, winner-take-all for the WNBA title. All the marbles tonight. Elena Deladon and the Mystics, 6.5-point favorites. Who you got?
Bet the over.
174.5?
Bet the over.
That's your sage gambling advice?
Mystics overs have been unbelievable for the better portion of 6 weeks now.
Okay. All right.
I don't know who's going to win the game, though. So that's why I'm giving over.
That's the third sporting event tonight, right? There's obviously the football game between the Patriots and the Giants, which again, I don't know what I want to do with this if I want to bet it in the contest, because then I'm locked into having to bet 4 other games, but it is awfully tempting. We'll see what the circa number is, because the Giants have nobody. 68% of their offense, again, with Ingram and Shepard and Gallman and Saquon out. But it is Thursday. There's a score release. I'm not sure if I'm playing that. And, of course, as I have said today and yesterday, all about the Rays at plus 250 in this game tonight, even though that goes against my futures bets on the Astros. Let's bring in a gentleman who lamented the Dodgers' loss last night. He was at Chavez Ravine for the he was not at Chavez Ravine. He was at his parents' house, excuse me. And as soon as Howie Kendrick went yard, he got in his car and he went home. Ladies and gentlemen, from under a cloud of smoke somewhere in Southern California, it's Jason Weingarten. Good morning, Jason. Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm going to make it, Gil. I'm going to make it.
Let's just, before we get into your thoughts on today's game, because I want to get all your things that you're thinking about betting, and perhaps St. Louis, Washington as well, which I know sort of hurts when I say that to you. But what was with everything that went down yesterday, and I was sort of trying to make the statement, like, well, we can all go after Davey Roberts, and Davey Roberts deserves some blame. I don't know how much of this felt like it was management to you with certain decisions. Like, what was your take on it?
It happened so fast. Like, it really wasn't even until a couple hours after the game when I was, reading the box score and reading some of the game recaps that it really hit me, because it was like 52 minutes between the 8th inning and the Dodgers season being over. It just It happened so quick. The bringing in Kershaw, the home runs, bringing in, starting with Kelly. It was like I said, it was just so quick. I kind of blame Roberts a little bit for mismanaging the pen, and some of the articles I read, Jeff Passons in particular, kind of pointed out that Robert just did an awful job managing that pen, and Kershaw wouldn't have been in the game if he wasn't Kershaw.
Right.
You know?
Right, and that's what I was saying. It's like it's a reputation thing, right? Like it wouldn't have been the case. And for those who follow baseball, Kershaw is not the same. Look, there's no shame in that, right? Whether it's injuries, whatever it is, he's not the Hall of Fame first ballot guy that he once was. And for those of us who had tickets on the Nationals, we couldn't wait for Kershaw to get in the game. Now, which of all these things, which is the one that's the most egregious? And I asked this of Jeff Parles earlier. Is it the Kershaw factor that he was allowed to stay in to pitch to not only Rendon but Soto? Is it the fact that Maeda, after 3 strikeouts, then was pulled? Is it the fact that Kelly was allowed to pitch a second inning? And then I guess all of it to say, wow, they really didn't want Kenley to pitch in this, did they?
All of those had a little bit of egregiousness to them. I'd probably go with Kelly, but I also thought about it last night later on, and one of the big things that's overlooked is the Dodgers didn't get a runner past second base after the 3rd inning.
I said that.
They struck out.
Yeah.
They struck out like 12 times. So I do want to fault the bullpen, and I want to fault the manager for the decisions he made, but there's a lot of blame to go around. Bellinger had like 7 strikeouts or something this series. Didn't produce anything, like 1 extra base hit. You just don't win when your stars don't perform. They had Pollock on the bench. He's their high priced free agent acquisition was on the bench in an elimination game. It was there's a lot of blame to go around.
Listen, I think it's right, because I said the other night about Verlander, I was like, look, he wasn't Verlander-esque. He only gave up 4 runs. You would expect the Astros to still be able to overcome that. They couldn't score. And you're right. And I said it after it was 3-0. Strasburg retired 15 of the last 18 batters, and of those 3 that got on, 2 were singles and 1 was by error. So the Dodgers just got absolutely stifled on offense too. So you're right. I mean, it's a fully comprehensive breakdown across the board, and Dodgers will have a lot of soul searching to do. What do you think the fallout is? Let me just ask you this before I get to your picks today. Who do you think ends up no longer on the team? Do you think Davey Roberts sticks around? What do you think happens?
Well, so the major thing to keep in mind is that the head of the front office, their general manager, Andrew Friedman, is not under contract at the end of October. And, there's not really an upgrade job-wise for him, but, I wouldn't give it 100% that he's going to be back. I'm not going to give it 100% shot or chance that Roberts is back. I don't necessarily think you move on from Roberts because, again, are you going to find a better manager? Probably not. But, the guy has just had some bad moments, and it's not like he's bad with analytics or, communicating with the players. It's just when things are on the line, his decision making has been bad now for several games. And I do think Joe Kelly probably is gone. I don't think Kershaw is going to retire. I do think Jansen might opt out, and that might be doing the Dodgers a huge favor with, because they're going to have to decide to trade him or do something. He's clearly no longer the closer. But yeah, there will be some changes this offseason, unfortunately, and they know they fell short. They feel horrible. It's baseball, Just got to congratulate the Nats. They came through when it mattered.
Hell yeah, they did. 106 wins for the Dodgers again. No team that has won that many games knocked out in the DS ever. Never been knocked out in a division series. Most wins in Dodger franchise history, and they are gone before they can even get to the championship series. They were trying to get to a 3rd straight World Series and try to win 1 in this spurt, but they didn't even get to the pennant. As far as, by the way, the last thing, I lied. You know who I thought about a lot last night? Dusty Baker. Because Dusty Baker, you talk about Dave Roberts just making poor decisions, but I always used to say about Dusty Baker is people love to pile on Dusty Baker. And I always used to say, not only is he wrong sometimes, but even when he's right, it doesn't seem to go his way. So now Dusty Baker, who managed the Giants, then left, saw them win 3 World Series eventually, who managed the Cubs, left. Eventually, the Cubs won a World Series. Now he's looking at the Nats, and they're doing amazing things that this franchise has never done before. First championship series this Nats franchise has ever gotten to since 1981 when they were the Expos, but first time ever as a DC baseball team. And you got to think about a guy like that just sitting home going like, it's happening again, for what that's worth. But I definitely thought about managers who just fall on hard luck. Sometimes we don't acknowledge the luck factor of a lot of these things. As far as today, Jason, Tampa Bay at Houston, Glass now at Cole. You and I talked about this the other day. When I said about yesterday, I was like, it's got to be Flaherty. It's got to be the Nationals based on the price on Strasburg. I also say it's got to be Glass now on the price on the Rays. You're sticking with that as well?
It's a really big price for a pitcher of Glasnow's caliber, especially knowing that Snell is available out of the pen and Morton's probably available out of the pen too. What's interesting to me is Cole is likely going to be the Cy Young. At least I hope he's going to be.
I do too.
And Glasnow was actually the Cy Young favorite for a month and a half until he got hurt. And it's just kind of crazy to me to see somebody who was a Cy Young level favorite now, being 200 in an elimination game, plus 200.
Plus 240,
Yeah, 240. So I do think there's value on the Rays. There's also, there's probably some value in looking at an alternative plus 2.5 run line or something like that. I kind of hope the Astros win. I still think they're the better team, but that's obviously the price side is the Rays. And,
are you making a yes bet on the first inning? I'm sorry, Jason. Are you making a yes run scored first inning bet here tonight?
Yeah, I'm gonna wait just to get the best price. I haven't played it early. Like I've said a lot of times before. Typically, you can find better prices on these closer to game time. I'm betting the over 7 runs. So yeah, I'm gonna bet the first inning because it's sort of a derivative of the over.
Over on the game total though. That's what you're doing. Over in this game tonight.
Yeah, over.
Okay. Any other markets on this one, or any thoughts on the Nationals and the Cardinals? Nationals minus 114 on the series price.
I like the Nationals to win that series. They have the better pitching staff.
They do indeed.
Starting staff. That's what really makes the difference for me. I'll probably end up either betting the series price or I'll be betting something on the Nationals. I would like to see them in the World Series now versus hopefully the Astros. I think that's the best matchup left, although I can't fault anybody who thinks the Yankees should be the best team or are the best team. So, it'll still be a good playoffs. I'm a little bummed the Dodgers aren't in it just because, and this isn't even as a Dodger fan, it's just that I really enjoyed watching them and I wanted to see them continue playing, but with 4 good teams left or three good teams left still.
Yeah. It's been fun.
Nothing.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And the last thing about the first inning prices, everybody's making a big deal that so many of these yeses have come in the first inning. There's no correlation from game to game, people. Let's establish that. It's just sort of been a run in the postseason. People are trying to sort of draw a line between these things, and that's not how we do first innings, but we won't get into the secret sauce of that. So over tonight, Tampa Bay is the price if you were to do the game price. Yes, first inning, and you like the Nationals in the championship series. Cover it all?
Yeah. That's all I got for now.
All right.
Getting ready for winter ball now that the Dodgers are knocked out.
My condolences,
some
Jason.
Extra time to update park factors.
There it is. I love it. He's already starting in on the preparation for Winter League. Thank you, Jason. Appreciate it, man.
I'll be back for more baseball soon.
All right.
Nice talking to you.
We'll talk next week. Jason at Spreadopedia on Twitter. He seems to be checked out now that the Dodgers are done, lamenting his Dodgers loss there yesterday.
Like my Uncle Solly.
Like your Uncle Solly?
I had an Uncle Sol. That he was my dad's uncle.
Oh, okay.
Sounds like yeah. Like he used to when his team lost or something. You could see it. You could hear it in the kid's voice. I feel bad for him.
He liked watching the Dodgers.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he was vested too, probably as well. But yeah, it happens. And Dodgers, we all knew were flawed, and that's how it goes. Jason's a good guy. Absolutely good guy. You are on a panel this week, sir.
Next week.
Next week.
Next week.
Like I said, you are on a panel next week.
Yeah, no, you had me scared because maybe I had to go in this week.
Wait, you're on a panel right now. Bill, get out of here.
Yeah. No, at G2E, I had to bring this up, a Global Gaming Expo. That's the name of it.
Yes.
At the G2E, it's I'm doing a panel on Wednesday morning on it's about my app, though. It's not about sports betting. It's about developing an app that's a multimedia app, Crackwin's app for, basically it's a free app for people, and there's articles on it and different. I write specific articles for the app. Also, my Gaming Today articles on there every week, and there's a lot of there's advice on there on everything Vegas. It's almost like it's like everything. You can get restaurants and food reviews, things to do. Like there's a whole story about like the Mob Museum and different places to go. The Pinball Hall of Fame.
Have you been to the Mob Museum?
Let me tell you, it shocked me. I figured it was going to be touristy and stuff, but I went there. I filmed a fight plan. I was with Teddy Atlas. We filmed the fight plan there, and when I went in there, I seen him sitting in that electric chair that they use in the past, and I was like, "Wow, this is pretty cool." I took my own little tour of the place. I went back the next day, to do a full tour of the place.
Parlay, you been there yet? Mob Museum downtown? It's great.
It's fantastic. It shocked me. You need the afternoon.
Awesome.
You need like 4 hours. It's great though if you're just a historian of Vegas, but also the mob stuff. And they have the wall where the St. Valentine's Day massacre occurred. They lined the guys up, and there's blood stains on the wall
in there.
Wow, on the brick.
It's amazing.
No, it's really good. So anyway, that's what I'm kind of talking about. So it should be fun. I have no idea. It's going to be spontaneous. I don't know what they're going to be asking me, but it's an honor just to be asked to be on a panel.
It's at the Sands Expo. Chris Christie will be speaking. Gary Bettman. A lot of heavy hitters there. Do you know who else is on your panel specifically?
No.
I should not have asked you that question.
I don't know anything. I just know I'm being thrown up on a panel.
Do you know who's No, I don't. Yeah. How dare you ask me that, Gil?
So it'll be my partners with me too, though, so they can answer some of the questions.
Yeah, and there's a sports betting panel as well. Number one fan of
this is the first time I'm ever going to this convention, so I'm going to walk around and see what's going on there. And I know it's mostly about games and all the giant slot companies and I'm sure those kind of companies are going to be there. But so it should be fun. It should be a fun time. Look forward to it.
Yeah. Okay. Sports betting panel on there as well. I'm just trying to find out who's.
Yeah, I think I did read that.
Yeah.
Oh, but, since you're looking for that, I know this game tonight looks so easy. Which all the guys are out.
Talking
Patriots.
Football? Yeah.
Yeah, I know there's a lot of injuries of the Giants and stuff, but let me tell you, the line already is it's baked in already.
Of course it is.
That the 17. I seen 17.5s in town here last night. I didn't bet the game. I'm just saying. Just know. Especially the low. It was last night. I seen some 40.5s, 41s. This is a low total for that large spread. So I don't know if they're. Sometimes you may want to do the bookmakers are really going to like this. A correlated parlay when you get some big numbers like this, favored over, dog under. I used to do that in college football a lot until they put the handcuffs on. They a lot of the sports books used to take these, these first half parlays, -10 over 21. So anyway, it more applies to college, but just don't think that this is a lock for New England. So I know a lot. I haven't met no one that didn't like New England. Everyone likes New England this game. So
the reason for that though is that at some point it is noteworthy. Like the Giants are basically tanking the game, right? So they have no offensive players,
right?
Skill position besides Daniel Jones. And so the question becomes, can they, you have to do it. Can they come up with 10 points? Yeah, probably they can figure out a way to score 10 points in the game. Then is it, are the Patriots a lock to score 27? Well, no, not really. So to your point, like nothing's a lock, right? But it is one of these rare situations. Not only is it Thursday games, which are squirrely to begin with, by the way, that applies to both sides, but the Giants are basically waving a white flag offensively here before the game even starts.
I'll be rooting for you guys. You guys, I heard you guys say you're under 10.5. Jeff, is that what you said on the team total? Hi, Jeff. Good morning.
That's the one I'm taking. Yeah,
I'm going to root for you.
Yeah.
I have no bet.
Oh,
currently.
okay, good.
I have no bet currently. I'm just debating whether to keep it as one of my contest picks.
Yeah.
which I don't know that I will because I never bet Thursday, but this was tempting.
Yes, I don't like to put you're right. Thursday contest picks, they're forcing you into giving you 4 more plays.
That's right.
I like to get the benefit of the latest line, but for any contest, the last possible hour, which is Circa's on 3 o'clock. Are you in the Circa?
Yes.
3 o'clock on Saturday, I believe you could put your picks up until. And the Westgate in person, I know, is Saturday, but on the app, I think it's Sunday, or it's it's Friday night by 11 p.m.
G2E, by the way, with lots of sports betting related panels, lots of them, including federal, tribal, state-specific update on sports betting rollout in the U.S., efficient and secure payment strategies, drive an improved payment experience, risk management, responsible gaming, a whole bunch of things. And Gary Bettman also chiming in on one of them. On a panel with Joe Asher, CEO of William Hill US, #1 fan of this show, Greg Carlin, CEO at Rush Street Gaming, and Matthew King, CEO at FanDuel. So there's a whole bunch, and they keep going on and on. So Bill will be there. If you come into town, you want to immerse yourself in some panels. Bill Krackomberger.
That'll be fun.
Talking about his app. Coming back on a numbers game at VSiN.
Keep it right here for more of A Numbers Game with Gill Alexander.